Yo, has anyone seen my dog? I miss him. r/ask Reddit by Planet Reddit. Divorce lawyers of Reddit. What's the most outrageous reason someone filed for divorce? She saw him in bike shorts and said she could never be sexually attracted to him again. I practically live on a bike path, and let me tell you that some people shouldn't wear bike shorts or anything with spandex. Ever. I'm one of them. It's frightening if my shorts are too tight. Good advice. I'm one of them too. Doesn't stop me from wearing them though. It helps with social distancing. Edit. Thanks for the award you/salty_tatter. Spandex is a privilege, not a right. After 7 years of marriage, a husband, unbeknownst to the wife, started trying to convince their nanny to have a threesome, telling her his wife would be really into it. He was a Wall Street guy, and she was a physician, and the nanny had been with them since their first kid was born 4 years earlier. The nanny finally made a move on the wife, who told her it was inappropriate. But a few months later, they got drunk, and they had that threesome. It turned into a regular thing. The husband was totally happy until the wife said she and the nanny were in love with each other, and she was leaving him for the nanny. During the custody proceedings, the husband tried to argue the nanny was an illegal immigrant, which was ridiculous. In the end, the wife got primary custody. 3 years later, the wife and nanny are still together, though they hired a new nanny. Have they not learned that hiring nannies is a bad idea for marriage? Well, it only ended up being bad for the husband. Turned out quite well for them. Yes, it only turned out bad for the husband last time, but that doesn't mean it won't turn out bad for one of them this time. Maybe, but I'd still watch the next episode. They were just looking for another threesome. Overheard in court one day, a woman wanted to divorce her husband because he likes taking pictures of trains and had been doing so 4 years before. The guy's on track, but the marriage was derailed. The man was broken, but he continues to chug along, blowing smoke as he goes on with his life. The couple is getting uncoupled. Never should have gotten hitched. Their romance just ran out of steam. This is why I love Reddit. Because she bought a $3,500 dog as a surprise, and when she sent him the picture he responded with this kind of impulsive bullshit is why your family is poor. Which one filed? She did. She was livid at that comment. He was very harsh, but damn, I have to agree with him. Don't waste your money, ladies and gents. Also, get a rescue, and don't buy animals as gifts. Each year in the US, about 1.5 million shelter animals are euthanized, 670,000 dogs and 860,000 cats. A huge chunk of them are gift animals who are rejected, or the recipients can't look after. I have a hard time supporting breeders because of this. They feed into this problem. Breeding mills feed into the industry. If you'll check with reputable breeders, you'll find that they do not produce a lot of animals. 1 litter a year is pretty common, and many offer discounts for neutered pets. Additionally, licensed breeders have an incentive to have healthy, happy animals. Mills are horror stories, and should all be shut down. Full stop. Wow, a woman with no impulse control also lacks powers of self-reflection. This is my shocked Pikachu face. Guy came in and wanted to divorce his wife because he found out that she was still married to some other guy. He then asked me if he needed to tell his other wife that he was married to this wife. This was a free legal clinic and everyone was homeless. A lot of stories make more sense when they end with "and everyone was homeless." You had me on the first half, not gonna lie. A man wanted to divorce his wife, fault and no fault type of divorce, because she was diagnosed with cancer. I've heard of couples doing this in the US so that the spouse with cancer is entitled to state medical programs that married people are not eligible for. Hopefully it's something like that, because damn. Us healthcare is fucking weird. US healthcare is a misuse of the word "care". That's because people don't understand there is a difference between health insurance and healthcare. Mainly because politicians use healthcare when referring to health insurance. If we could start using the terms correctly, it would be a step in a positive direction, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on. US health scare. Oh boy, I've been working at a family law firm for 3 years and I have seen/heard some crazy stuff. For example, 1. We handled the divorce for an older man, 70s, BC. He was cheating and wanted to be with his mistress. 2 years go by, he comes back to divorce the mistress. BC. He's been cheating on her with his first wife too. Wife found photos of her husband dressed up as a ballerina. 3. Husband files for divorce. BC. Wife does cocaine. He brings us photos of her with coke on her bare boobs. Then admits he took the photos. Then admits he's the one with the coke habit. 4. Wife filed for divorce. BC. She didn't want to relocate to a neighboring state for his promotion. 5. Couple with open marriage both end up jealous and call different law firms and file separate complaints for divorce within hours of each other. Number 3 was intranet flex. Number 3 was my favorite. Number 4 would definitely not be me, but I don't think it's that crazy. It's not easy to leave your entire family and circle of friends behind. Some people are just unhappy anywhere but the city they grew up in. Yeah, I definitely get that perspective. But we are talking a distance that would be about a 2-hour drive. So it struck me as an over-the-top reaction, personally. Most likely there were a lot of other issues, and she felt that was a good time to get out. I'd imagine 4 isn't too incredibly uncommon. I agree. Uprooting your life is a big deal for many people. Especially if he took the promotion without consulting her first. My friend's wife divorced him because he wasn't black enough. He immigrated to the US from Eritrea and I guess somehow that's not black enough. Damn, I'm Eritrean, it feels personal. Hello, I'm your neighboring Ethiopian. This people who think we aren't black make me laugh. What exactly are we then? Celestial beings? Edit, you're la too kind, I'm blushing. As someone that lived in Ethiopia for a few years as a kid, the average Ethiopian is kind enough to qualify as some sort of celestial being in my mind. AWW, thanks, you've made my day. I'm a dumbass American who knows virtually nothing about Ethiopia, but that was such a sweet compliment, it made my day too. We are very kind, almost aggressively. I say this as someone not raised in Ethiopia. If you to someone's house, you will be offered food and a bed for the night. And good luck declining. All I know about Ethiopia is that the dudes there knew how to run in the Olympics, and they got really cool rock churches. During their honeymoon, the wife asked for a Gucci handbag and the husband told her he couldn't afford it because he just spent $200,000 on the wedding plus honeymoon. She filed for divorce after their return. Edit, I found the article for proof. First of all, let me stop you right there. They're both pretty nuts to spend that on a wedding if Gucci is out of their price range. Unfortunately, in the culture over here, the man is expected to spend a lot on the wedding. Despite the high percentage of divorces within 2 to 3 years that are related to financial problems and the government discouraging the practice of lavish weddings. Oof. There's some pressure here in the US to have a big, formal wedding, but I wanna say the average cost is around $30,000. It's been a trend in the last decade to have smaller, more intimate ceremonies. We spent less than $5,000 on ours, but we were a couple of broke drunks at the time. And I completely agree with keeping the cost of the wedding as low as possible. A small ceremony with loved ones, nothing extravagant. Instead of blowing money on a one-day event, save it towards a down payment towards your forever home maybe. The level of stupidity of how people manage their finances over here is mind-blowing to say the least. I love you. Thank you for supporting Planet Reddit.